Good afternoon, everyone. It's Carl back with the lads from Fourth and Inches. This is episode 8. We haven't done anything in a while, but as you can see, we're back with a huge guest, something we're really excited about. And it is none other than Netflix Last Chance You, Juco legend, Mr. DIor Scott. How are you, mate? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm really blessed. How you guys doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Can't complain.
Yeah, basically, if it's all right, Dior, for people that won't know you as much, if you just give us a brief insight as to who you are, because we've got a lot of fans here that obviously follow the NFL, but not so much college football.
Right.
So if you give us a brief insight who you are.
Yeah, my name is DIor Scott. From California. I was born in San Diego, but I was raised in the Bay Area, so like Oakland, Antioch area. I went to Laney College, and now I'm at University of Hawaii, and that's really much it.
Brilliant. One question I wanted to ask specifically, because obviously people that do know that did watch the show will see the hardships that you went through. But prior to that first day when you stepped onto the field, back to training, and you had the cameras around from Netflix, what sort of effect did that have on you? Was it tough to deal with, or?
No, really, the cameras really didn't affect me, to be honest. It didn't affect nobody. It was just scary for us to tell our story and tell us like our personal life. That was really about it. But it didn't affect us on the field.
Yeah. So I guess it, like after a while, it just got normal, and you just carried on as normal, as if nothing was there.
That's basically what the camera crew was trying to do. They were trying to make sure like they wasn't trying to impede our play. To be honest, they were trying to just tell us. They were trying to really tell our story, and that was it.
Yeah. Did you feel like you wanted to ball out even more because the cameras were there?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mate, that one-handed grab in episode 1, that's the reason. That's a ball-out catch, that is. That's a show-off catch, that was.
To be honest, like I wasn't even thinking about like catching it one-handed. I was like, oh man, I need to get this ball. So when I caught it one-handed, that's my first time catching like one-handed ball like that. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm lit now. So I started going crazy down the sideline, started running and started like a crazy man.
What how much of an influence was Coach Beam on you for the time that you were there?
He was a major influence on me. It's crazy when I first came, Coach Beam didn't know really who I was. So I think as time grew, me and him got way closer, and he became a big influence in me. Just knowing his legacy in Oakland. That made me like, okay, he knows what he's doing. And plus how he helped me a lot. Just talking to me, trying to make me a better player, just trying to make me become a star on and off the field. That's what made me like love him more, and that's how I
specifically because obviously with all that in mind, obviously, as I said, you went through a lot of hardships and things like that, and your resilience and kind of determination really shone through. How difficult was it with the situation that you were in to kind of balance everything out?
To be honest, it was difficult, but I didn't know it was really like that. I didn't know it was really that difficult to the world, because it was, for me, it was just, I'm just doing this just to make it to the next level. I didn't know, like, sleeping in a car, having anxiety attack, dealing with other stuff. Like, it was really that big for us, because for everybody on the team who had adverse hardships, we was like, okay, we still gotta go to practice. We still gotta go to school, because nothing's changed. There ain't no sympathy store for none of us. So we still have to do what we do every day. And once everybody in the world like kept telling me about, well, like, your story is crazy, I'm like, I look back at it, I was like, oh, okay. Maybe my story was like a little bit crazy, but I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I was thinking about trying to get to the next level, trying to get a scholarship.
Well, I think that proves how much of how great your mindset is for to not even be affected by it at that time. Now you obviously said you look back on it. You've looked back on it and kind of seen where people are coming from to a certain extent. has it changed your mindset moving forward, looking back on what you've been through? Or has it just increased your drive to move on even more?
It just increased my drive to go even more. Uh, really not trying to let myself down. Every day is a new opportunity for me to really strive and do what I want to do. Strive and be great. Yeah, it's just really just I don't want to let that kid down who was sleeping in his car because if I fail, what was all of this for?
You
Yeah.
know when when Coach Beam first spoke to you about swapping to quarterback, and obviously you were trying to make yourself a name as a wide receiver, you were making the big plays, and then when he comes to you and goes, "I want you to go and play quarterback," How did after all this sleep in the car, working through the night shift, how did that? How did that affect you? How did you take that on board and just go with it? Was it just the fact of we can win with this team and it all can be a reason we can win this team? Was it just your mentality that kept driving you through?
I was just my mentality, just knowing I'm a team player. I'm doing anything for us to win. We was 0-2 at the time. We had no quarterback, so we was all pretty down bad. And for me to go back to quarterback, where in my head I'm like, whoa, if I go back to quarterback, I'm gonna be like back in high school. I sucked at quarterback in high school. Like I was a good athlete, but me playing quarterback, it was a different story. So I was really scared of failing my teammates in college. So it's a different stage in college. So I was really scared, but I just went and attacked it, and I went with it, attacked it, and I think I did pretty good. I think not till like later on, once I realized like, okay, I'm playing more games than usual, and I kind of need receiver film, but I'm gonna still be a team player. But in the back of my mind, I was stressing about like, okay, I kind of do need film for receivers so coaches can know like like who I am.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Carl this morning about it, and I was saying that obviously with you trying to push yourself and get to that next level, sort of thing, um, with being a wide receiver, I think the things that get so overlooked is your football IQ has got to be so high because you're able to transition. So, and it seemed like seamlessly. I mean, obviously, the second game, the struggles were there, but you were able to fight through it and you were able to get going and you managed to pull out the win in the set in game four. And it was just a case of like when you move to like I think the football IQ gets so overlooked because to make that transition 3 days before game day, like that's something else because you've got to pick up different reads and defenses. Obviously, you look at your playbook and you see you do see these different things, but you're seeing it from a whole different standpoint rather than a wide receiver. And I think it's incredible that you were able to pick up like the quarterback role as you did. Obviously, you played it before, but it's a different level and there's different expectations on you at that point, especially when like not just yourself, but RJ and everybody like that are trying to make a name for themselves at Laney to progress themselves. So like, did you feel any added pressure when you went to quarterback or?
Uh, added pressure, just really, like I said, a little bit added pressure, just trying to make sure that we win as a team. Because, like I said, this wasn't for me. I know this was for the team. And to be honest, I played for Atlanta just because of the legacy. So this is wasn't even for me. This is for the people behind me. This is for the people who start this legacy before me. So this is what that's how I just really played the ball out. That was my really my mentality. Because I know this is deeper than just me. This is the story for Atlanta itself.
See, I think that's an incredible situation because you're just kind of taking it all on your shoulders, taking it in your stride. You've got other things going on outside of that as well. You talked about the anxiety attacks, which is obviously a new thing to you, and you were like, "Well, this is new," and you just seem to just overcome everything. And like as I said, I think your football IQ must have been so high to make that transition swap from wide receiver to quarterback, and just know that like to read the defense and make the right call and everything like that. Like for me, like that's one of the things that gets overlooked as sportsmen in general. They overlook the IQ aspect of it, and that's I suppose college scouts will probably do the same. They'll look at difference, like they'll look at your playmaking ability rather than your football IQ,
Yeah.
which is obviously a shame because obviously you've got a very high football IQ to be able to make that transition so quickly as well.
Yeah, it is, but it's. I think for right now, I think everybody knows it is. This with college football, they look at size first. If you pass that eye test, then you can get whatever. I think it's the eye test, then the playmaking ability, then might be football IQ and like how coachable are you. Where I don't want to say it should be the other way around because size is size. You can't coach size. So I think that was really my downfall because I don't know if you guys noticed I'm not 6 foot, so I'm
I only
5'9".
realised today. The guy told me you were like 5 foot something, and I was like, no, that's not true.
Yeah,
You're 5'8", aren't you?
I'm 5'9", 5'9",
5'9".
5'9",
Oh,
175. So I'm not passing the eye test for a receiver. So I have to do everything else to amaze a coach to even give me a chance. So that's what I have to do, and that's what all small receivers they have to do is try to find other ways like route running, speed, hands, and other stuff instead of having size.
I think
When you
that's
see, oh sorry, go on, Carl.
yeah. I think that's another incredible thing though, because obviously with your kind of height, there'll be a lot of young talent looking at it, thinking that they're not going to be able to progress because they're not a specific size. Whereas you can, or again, without not even realizing, becoming more of a role model. If that makes sense. So yeah, it's just an incredible thing. Oh, what were you going to say, Chris?
I was going to say that when you're when you're getting up to that point where you think to yourself, like, I've got to find other ways of catching eyes and stuff like that, because you said about your size and stuff like that. When you look at other receivers, when you look at smaller receivers in the NFL, does that give you even more hope though? Because obviously you get the slot guys who aren't quite 6 foot. Like Julian Edelman's one of the best in the league, and he plays in the slot and he makes plays, and he's mainly based off his football IQ that he makes the read as he comes out of his break.
He's a Patriots fan, just in case you didn't get the.
No,
Hey,
yeah, I really try to study a lot of like smaller receivers, not just right now, just in the past, like Steve Smith Senior.
yeah.
He's his mentality, how he plays, it's really crazy, and that's how I try to not have my game around, but trying to really have some of his game in mind, so I can be like a better football player. So for me, it's just looking at smaller receivers, see how they're doing, and really looking at route running. That's really my main thing: route running, reading the defenses, and really catching the ball and traffic stuff like that. What stuff I need to work on.
What was another thing I wanted to ask is obviously you mentioned about anxiety and the panic attacks that you started to kind of suffer. Is that something that you've always had to deal with, Dior, or is it something that you only started recently realizing what happening?
That was that was my first panic attack. I think my first panic attack was the camera crew wasn't in there, but what's it called? I was in my coach's office laying down, just stressing about stuff, and then like my chest started caving in, my chest started cramping. I can't even get up off the floor until I talk to Coach Beam. I crawled into his office, this like crying and telling like I can't move, like I can't even go to class. So that was my first panic attack, and then having one on the field, it was like, oh my god, like I didn't know what it was, to be honest. I'm like, bro, what's going on with me? I don't want to. Plus, with the camera crew and everybody looking at me, I was not trying to feel weak, so I was trying my hardest not to show what I was going through, and it just came to a pain where I couldn't even resist it anymore. I just had to let it go. And Coach Beam saw what was going on, which was huge for me because Coach Beam's not like that coach. Be like, oh, you're hurt. It's okay. He's gonna try to tell you fight it off. He's gonna try to tell you all this. Like, come on, you got this. But to see how much pain I was in, and for him to really help me, I I appreciate that much. And for him to have me talk to his wife in the middle of a practice, that meant a lot, and that's so much respect for him because he could have as easily just let me go to the sideline because I was cooling off or still kept practicing. But for me to really calm down, talk to his wife, and really calm my anxiety down, that's what I love the most about it.
Yeah, is
It's
there
really it's really nice that Coach Beam saw you as a person, Dior, as opposed to just you're just a sort of a wide receiver in the team. That's really cool to know that he did see you as a person and saw you really struggling and really want to seek the best for you. That's really
No,
cool. And you can
that's
see that admiration for Coach Beam that you have, and that screams out, and that really is something
Yeah,
to
that's
hold.
how Coach Beam is. Coach Beam, but he's gonna treat his players like his own. He's been like that from day one. He's trying to help if he can, he was trying to help the whole team out. And I'm not gonna say that was different for me. It was just new for me to see that in a college business because I knowing that college is a business, knowing that you need wins to pay your mortgage. You need wins to get your money. So for him to really dive deeper for us, that makes us want to go hard for him.
Of course.
I mean, do you feel like you did anything once you started going through all these panic attacks, the anxiety, and so on? Do you feel like you started to change as a person to deal with it? I know you mentioned obviously Coach's wife was there to support you, but when you were on your own or she wasn't available, were you doing anything to try and help yourself personally, or did you kind of handle it? No, I mean, how normally did you kind of handle it? Really?
Really, yeah. For me, I think for the type of person I am, even my mom says it's like sometimes I'm too nice to people. So I worry about everybody else instead of my own needs. So I think that's what happened. And so that's what I put as that's why I said like me putting people first is a liability for me right now because I'm hurting myself trying to make everybody else happy around me. Where I gotta realize I need to step back and really make myself happy, really talk to myself. So I think that's what I did at the time, just really trying to block everybody out. Really trying to block everybody out who wasn't really there for me or who wasn't close to me. So I think that helped a little bit, like calm my stress down, not trying to please everybody.
On that note, when you made the transition, obviously to quarterback, do you look at that as a point of, look, I'm just doing this for my teammates because they're there for me, or do you actually look at that and think to yourself slightly, after your mom said to you, you're probably too nice to people and you probably put other people first? Do you wish that you'd maybe not gone for the quarterback role, or do you wish, or are you pleased with what you did?
Oh
Because I
no,
think it's
I was pleased with that. Like I said, for the team, I'll never be selfish. So every coach told me to go, I will go there gladly. That's different because I know if roles and switch, they would do the same thing for me. So I'm gonna do the same thing for them.
because I think people will take note of that. Because obviously, you said about suffering, like not wanting to look weak on the camera and everything like that. But I think from suffering from the anxiety attacks, I think more people will relate to you and will have seen all the struggles that you went through and just see you just keep fighting and keep going and never giving up. People will find it like an inspirational story, and now like people will be watching Last Chance U and they'll be going to themselves, well, I could be the next Dior. I could do this. Like this is me. Does that like sound weird though when people say that to you? Like you're going to be an inspiration to youth moving forward.
Yes, it is. It is weird because I swear, like for me being labeled as a mental health advocate, uh, how can I say this? Like I was not trying to be that at all. Um, yeah, it just really just came upon that. It, like came upon me. It's like, oh, how Dior's dealing with mental health stress like that is really remarkable. Where I'm just a 20-year-old kid trying to play football and trying to make ends meet at the end of the day for himself. So for me to have that label as a mental health advocate and be like an inspiration, it was weird to me because I'm not really a kid who really likes talking. I was like I'm a leader that shows by example. So I'm really grateful to have that even on me. So I think I'm gonna use this platform wisely and not really take advantage of it. So I'm gonna I'm gonna try to help out people who has mental health problems. Like a little DM, something like that, because I realized that when I respond to people's DMs about mental health and inspiration, like they inspired them a little bit, that makes their day. So I'm gonna just try to keep doing that, like something little. Like if I could do something
The,
little day by day, it'd be crazy. It'll be a blessing for me.
Again, it's just another incredible trait of yours. Like, I think, the reason I got in touch with you is because obviously we really enjoyed watching you, but your story and what you've gone through was incredible. And the fact I saw that you were responding to so many people all the time. Um, and again, it's another positive thing to say about you. And I just obviously wanted to come on here and talk about mental health a little bit, because I think a few of us on here have been through issues. Obviously, very, very different to yourself. Um, but is it something? Obviously, it started while you were playing football. Is it something that's continued now? Are you still having panic attacks and things, or have things calmed down a little bit, or is it something you deal with on a daily basis?
Not panic attacks, but yeah, I still do mental health. It's just like depression, PTSD, like not even like stuff like triggers me, but like still like thinking the past, like whoa, like I've been through this and this is crazy. Like I was like I be so depressed sometimes like I don't be eating, where
Yeah,
I need to make a certain weight and I don't make that weight because I don't be eating. I be thinking about other stuff. It just really be affecting my body. So yeah, like I'm still going through stuff, and I'm trying to find ways to really help with that problem. So I'll read the word of the day every day. Just talk to God. Just like you give him like 5-10 minutes. That's really all he asks for. Um, Talk to my mom. If I have something going on, like if something triggers me, uh, if something triggers me, I'll text her immediately. I'll text someone. I'll text my auntie Odile. I'll text my second mama Q. I'll try to text other people just to really like help me out because I don't want to really like spaz out and really go into mental breakdown. So I
yeah,
try to really contact the people closest to me and really like find out like what's going on. Why am I feeling like this? And it's been working, but it was a point of time where when I first went to Hawaii, I was just super depressed, and like I called my mom for like what 2 weeks straight, crying to her, talking about I want to go back, but I realized like if I go back, there's nothing for me. So
yeah.
it's okay to have those feelings that okay, I want to go back to how everything was. Like everything was perfect or normal. But everything was comfortable to me. So to really come out of my comfort zone, uh, it was new to me because I've never gone my comfort zone. So it was scary at first, but then once I realized like okay, in order for me to have a better future, I'm gonna step out my comfort zone. So that's what I did, and that helped out a lot.
So obviously, like you said, you're away in Hawaii on your own, thinking about what everything that's going on. Obviously, all the COVID stuff probably hasn't helped as well, because you spend a lot of time away from people that you want to be around. And obviously, you mentioned that you're trying to take steps to try and overcome whatever's going on, and realizing that it's okay to feel the way that you do, because obviously it is. How much did you actually find that talking helped? Because we always talk about talking is a massive thing when it comes to mental health, and not being afraid to open up, which is obviously something that you learned with Coach Beeman and his wife, that it was okay to feel weak, like feel a bit weak, and it was okay to realize that actually you're not weak. That's just how you feel. How much does the talking help you?
It helps me a lot because I do have a problem with not talking at all. So what I would do, I'll bottle up all my feelings
Yeah,
I can't hold it no more, and I explode on somebody where somebody don't deserve that. So for me to really talk about my feelings, that helps me out a lot. Just helps me with my anger, helps me with my depression, my anxiety. So it talking to somebody really helps a lot.
definitely. I've got someone who's just dropped a question in the comments, if that's all right, Dior. It's actually from my brother Chris. He's asked, which sportsman do you look up to or relate to the most?
Man, it's a lot to be honest. It's a lot of people like Deshaun Watson and his mama, how they're so close, and how she had tongue cancer when he was in high school. That's a great story. DeAndre Hopkins, how his
Yeah.
mama came up where she can't even see no more just because somebody was that selfish and threw acid in her face. It's a lot of players who I really look up to, who are really leaders on and off the field.
It shows that you look for more like the mentality in
Yeah, I look for
people as opposed to the poor performance
yeah.
related. Obviously, the two that you mentioned are extremely good, but for the reasons that you used, it was that. But what you don't see basically on the field, isn't it? That's what you look up to, the
No,
mentality.
that's what I look up to is on the field. Is off the field is how they carry themselves through all the uh all the stuff they're going through. Like
Or the adversities and
they have the big money. Yeah, they have millions of plans, but they still go through day-to-day struggles with themselves and their family, and that's what I love the most. How they came to handle it off the field, and that's really important. But who I really look up to the most, start as a kid, Ozzie Smith. I think the Wiz. That's where I really really want to become an athlete, just because seeing Ozzie Smith and how he played baseball, I just wanted to be an athlete like that. To be honest,
Perfect.
How
Perfect.
how
He'll love that.
how
He'll
did
love it as well because he's a Texans fan. So he'll love that.
how did your mom react when she found out you were sleeping in your car and you weren't staying at your friends?
uh, that was a that was a tough conversation, and it still
Because
hurt. It
did
still
she
hurts
find
today.
out? Did she find out during the show, from the show, or did you tell her yourself?
No, she found out during the show. Yeah, I
Wow.
I was too I was too scared to tell her.
It was a case of you were
Because
trying to stand on your own two
I
feet, though,
had
weren't you?
yeah, I was I because really like growing up, I heard, oh, you can't live without me. You need me and your stepmama. Like it was like yeah. That my father really makes me a mentor. But as a child growing up, hearing like you can't live in this world without us. Uh, that made me want to like do stuff alone. So for me, like telling my mom, hey, like I'm living in a car, I couldn't do it. I hate telling my mom I need $40 for something to eat. Like I like out of like the 2 years I was by myself, only asked her for money once. That's just how prideful I was because I didn't want her. I know in her mindset she want to try to help me as much as she can. Like she told me if she would have found out that I was in the car by myself, oh yeah, she would have moved to California so just to help me out a little bit, which I didn't want that to happen because that was changing their lives just to deal with me, and I didn't want that at all. So when she found out that I was sleeping in the car on Netflix, that was man, that was hard because uh, she texted me and she was like, "I'm sorry, I failed you." And seeing that text from her, it was hard for me because for her, I never felt like she failed me at all. She has some decisions to make. Uh, Stuff didn't fall her way. It was just life, and I think she did a wonderful job of me, even though I was 1,000 miles away from her. Uh, she did the best she could with 5 kids, and knowing her story, she's really done an amazing job. She's really is my superwoman. So I told her like, yo, you like don't ever. I told her don't ever say that again around me. You did not fail me. You taught me so much. So we talked about it, and basically, I was like, I can't hide stuff from you ever again.
I think like she definitely didn't fail you, and we don't know your mom because millions of people have seen how much of how much of an amazing guy you are. So, you know, Tell her from us that she definitely hasn't failed you 100%.
This isn't failure. Don't worry.
Definitely not.
This is not failure.
I think if anything, you can say to her as well that the reason you were able to get through their moments of like the anxiety and sleeping in the car and working overnight and just trying to better yourself, that comes from the strength that your mum had. As you said, she had the adversities, and obviously we don't know your mum's story, but like the strength that you've got comes from her. Like so, like if anything, she's inspired you to find the best you
Yeah,
rather than
yeah,
just
I
for
told her that.
accepting for anything else.
I told her that. I was like, seeing how you handle stuff, seeing that where you are at today, and how you dealt with stuff, because how you dealt with stuff is just like, man, you inspired me, mom. So she really does inspire me every day just to really become a better me.
Yeah, definitely.
How was the chat with her when you said that you was going to go to play for with Hawaii College?
She was happy. Just like I was more concerned about everything, like what's gonna happen. I know I might have to take out a loan, and I didn't want to help me with school too. So I was just like scared of what to do because there was a walk on offer, and we talked about it. She was like, "What, Hawaii? You finna play for Paradise? Boy, go! Like we good, we got this." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, it was a fun conversation. It wasn't really like a hard conversation like this and pros and cons. She was like, "Boy, go! This is paradise." And she was like, "Now I have a reason to go to Hawaii. Now that's really a paradise for me."
Yeah, she's thinking of the vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's thinking of vacation. She's not
100%.
thinking about playing. She was like, "You're gonna be a rainbow warrior, wherever the hell that is." But yeah, just go out there and have fun in Hawaii. So yeah, and that was when it first happened. And when I told her about it, like told her like, "Oh, there's gonna be a new coach staff." She tell me the same thing every time. Talk to God. Talk to God. Read the message that's on your arm. Psalms 23 verse 6. So that's what I did. Just talk to God, seeing that if I should stay in Hawaii with the new coaching changes, with all that, because that was my first time having a coaching change, and that was scary. So I talked to God, just stayed there, and it's been pretty good. So I'm really thankful. I'm thankful that I know that lady. I'm thankful that she gave birth to me because she has helped me out a lot.
How did
Absolutely.
you how did you feel after the hard work you put into just was it like while it was nice to get the walk on offer, did it hurt a little bit that you'd not got a scholarship offer?
Oh yeah, it hurt. It hurt. Because my main thing was like trying to get a scholarship. So for me to really take that walk on offer, it was just like a tough pill. Yeah, because I knowing that that's gonna be money out of my pocket, knowing that I felt like I wasn't good enough to really. I feel like I wasn't good enough to get an offer, so they're not even gonna pay attention to me. And for me to come, for me to come as a walk on, and how the team respected me, it was just love. It wasn't even off the show, just how they see my work ethic and how hard they see I work. That's what made my walk on transition easier. Just easier.
Have you
Do you think go on Nick,
with
go on, sorry.
with regards to the walk on, have you got any sort of like idea what you need to do to be able to obtain a scholarship? Because obviously it's going to be difficult I take it you're not playing with the college season at the moment.
Yeah, we're not. Our season got postponed, so right now we're just working out and stuff like that. But yeah, coach, me and head coach, we had that we had that talk on what I need to do. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's basically I know what I need to do. It's just come in there, outwork everybody, have my straight dog mentality, and make plays when I can. And I think I'm going to do that. So we're going to see what happens. Hopefully, scholarship come out soon. We just really just waiting for the opportunity.
How are you finding all like with all the coronavirus deal, like, and obviously with all the unknown around college football? How are you finding it personally?
Oh my God, this virus has stopped a lot of blessings. It has stopped. It stopped a lot of blessings, but it created a lot of blessings too. So I really can't. I'm not finna blame anything. This really does. This me just extra time to work on my craft. So whenever we start season, I can be 110%. So I can't complain. I'm not gonna lose sleep off this. Just knowing, hey, whenever my name is called, I'm gonna be ready.
I just think that
I know
speaks
you will.
volumes.
Yeah,
I
great
just think, I
mentality
think
to have.
I think that speaks volumes for your strength and your mentality and stuff like that. And like honestly, I think that's what has made you such like an advocate for mental health sort of thing. Is people will see stuff like this, they'll see Last Chance U, and they'll see you took another setback because, like, as you said, it hurt that you didn't get the scholarship offer. But now you're going to be yourself, and you're going to go and be a dog, and you're going to go and be the best you can be, and you're going to ball out, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, you're going to get that scholarship, and I'm sure you will because you're that guy, you're driven, you're going to get there, you'll get to the step, and you'll find a way. Like, and I think it's quite inspiring for people to see that there's just no give up in you. Just there's nothing that's going to stop you.
What would you, just out of interest, or if you had a conversation with 10-year-old you now, what would you say to him?
Man, 10-year-old me. That was a different. I was different, to be honest. Really, well, I tell my 10-year-old self, stop acting up in school. In school. That's really it. I think, yeah, my 10-year-old self, I'll tell him, man, stop acting up in school, do your homework, really just keep having fun, just keep enjoying life. I think my teenage self, that's a different story. What I tell my teenage self, man, you're going through a lot of stuff right now. You're finding out a lot of stuff about you right now. Don't fight that. Um, really knowing that you don't need no one else but yourself. You don't need no. Yes, you have affectionate issues. You don't need that from no girl. Go out there, work hard, work on your craft. Just be the best you. That's really it. I don't even know. Just really just don't give up. Don't let nobody take your happiness away from you. And that's really it. There's none that stars don't mean anything. Rank publicity don't mean anything. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you're gonna be great at whatever you do.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, we've just got some kind of quick fire questions now, which are pretty much like one word answers, probably just some silly stuff, to be fair. And my first one would be who's your favorite artist, music artist?
Uh, Outcast. That's my favorite music group right now. Outcast.
Cool. Liam, you got some, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I know you've mentioned a few already, but I mean, who would you say your all-time favorite player is?
Man, it's hard. I'm not thought about that. I should come top of my head. I don't know. Yeah. I can't even tell you that one.
Nah.
I can't even tell you that. I think it. I don't know. All time. All time. It's gonna have to be OG Ozzie Smith. If I can think about it right now, all time Ozzie Smith. My favorite college player was D'Anthony Thomas. And my favorite player right now.
Mike Evans.
Mike has no. My right now is gotta be Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees, yeah. What has he done in the league? What has he done in the league and how small he is it's really like, oh my god, like that dude is a beast. He's a Hall of Famer, so yeah, I think
Yeah, true, very true. I mean, I know you're a Saints fan. So, what are your thoughts on the coming season for them? How do you think they get on?
Man, my thoughts on this season, man, they better not blow it in the playoffs. We have a good run regular season, and just a couple plays in the playoff, we never find it again. So
Dior, first game, you've got the Bucks. Are you beating the Bucks?
first game, yeah, we beat the Bucks, yeah.
Yes.
We all like
That's
that.
on the top.
Yeah, I'm going to be straight in your DMs when we beat you.
Who's winning the Super Bowl this year then? If it's not the Saints,
Saints win the Super Bowl.
Saints.
Yeah.
And
man.
in a completely different direction, do you play a bit of Warzone or Call of Duty?
Yeah, I do.
In that case,
I'm waiting for what's that new Cold War to come. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, the new one,
yeah.
Yes.
What gun you're currently running with? What's your setup?
Right now, because I got everything Damascus right now, so I'm working on the AN-94. That's really it. I'm trying to get that Damascus too, so I'm not done completely with it yet. But once I'm done with AN-94, I'm gonna get a set gun.
Brilliant.
Have you got the VLK, the 3 optic on there, or
The VLK, is that the shotgun?
no, the optic for the AN-94?
Oh no, not yet.
No. Cool. Fair enough. You need it, mate. It's good. It's good.
If you haven't gathered, we all play it.
Not very well.
No, not at all.
Dior, actually, I've got random questions that come through my head. Out of the quarterbacks that have been drafted this year, who have you got your eye on the most?
Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. So
Do you think he's going to play?
Hopefully. Listen, I don't know. Just seeing how hard he worked from Alabama to Oklahoma. I've been watching him since he first got into Alabama. So seeing what he does, I'm just can't wait because how people really underestimate him, saying he's not a quarterback, saying he's not ready for this level, saying a whole bunch of negative stuff and how he's still prevailing. That's what I'm really excited more for the most.
That's interesting.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah. I'd love to see him play, but just that Aaron Rodgers, man.
See, I think Philadelphia are going to make sets and make plays
Carson was here.
where Wentz and Hurts are going to be on the field together, and they'll be running different plays. And I think it'll end up they'll find ways to get him in the game because a bit like the Saints do with Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
I can imagine that they're going to try and make plays because with the way he can run the ball and the way he can move, and then you've always got the threat that he's going to throw the ball.
Right. I don't know if they're gonna make him a Taysom Hill type. Cause I don't know if he want that role, but I don't know what's gonna happen with him. So to be honest, so I'm just really excited to see what happens with him and what he does.
Perfect. Yeah. So, really appreciate having you on. The last question before we let you get on with your day is obviously you've spoken about what you would say to yourself, but what would you say to someone who's maybe going through a similar situation to you now, who's struggling with mental health? What would be your words?
Better days will come. That's really it. Better days will come. So don't think of this as like a major set. Just knowing it is some difficulties. Just have that positive attitude. Really just keep going on with life. Don't make this the highlight. Don't make this negative moment the highlight of your life. Because if you do, you're gonna mess up every day. So that's really how I come off this stuff.
Brilliant. Really appreciate that. Right, guys, that's been 4th and Inches with episode 8. Hopefully, everyone's enjoyed having DIor Scott on. Obviously, keeping that stray dog mentality. We've really enjoyed speaking to him and getting an insight into everything that's been going on throughout his life. We look forward to seeing him maybe in the NFL in a few years' time.
Yeah, maybe, hopefully. We're going to see.
We gotta
Smash
see.
that scholarship.
We'll be following you. Don't worry. We'll be following you.
Yeah, guys, so anyone that's missed the broadcast, and obviously you can check us out on YouTube at 4th and Inches. We'll have the video posted on there as well as over on Instagram and Facebook as well. Thanks for everyone's time. We'll see you